Days like today are challenging, and not because I'm unfamiliar with the lack of control that I've chosen to volunteer to my job, but just because I think every human being, including myself, just has a natural bandwidth of how much they can handle the volatility and uncertainty of not necessarily having a direction in which to kind of aim their efforts and focus into. And while I understand that that's just a normal part of my day, words are important, and saying them correctly is also dope. I think today, two things. I need my training more for the spiritual element of detoxing and decompressing my frustrations and my anxiety of trying to cope with not knowing and not knowing when I'll know. And also recognizing that there are certain Buddhist meditations called sutras where inhaling and exhaling and focusing on the sutra, focusing on the breath, focusing on the impermanence and observing the mind within the mind and observing the body within the body, and kind of a simple but kind of complex form of meditation and calming oneself down is a critical skill to maintaining the professionalism and the equilibrium to still be of service to other people while dealing with my own struggles. So today's workout, a combination, I guess you could say, I kind of lean into the Spartan race / CrossFit element of program design. So it's a quarter-mile run with the strength and a gymnastics type movement, chin-ups, pull-ups. You'll see that in the video. And then we'll do our post-workout reflections. And I know it's going to be okay, but I think it's equally as important as adults, and especially as men, when we feel like things aren't okay or they're not going the way that we want them to, that it's okay to be disciplined. It's okay to feel your feelings and own your feelings. We're in this very feeling-oriented era, and still do adult, mature things that don't necessarily involve self-sabotage or temper tantrums or emoting on social media in a way that's not authentic to who we are. So let's get started. That was a different type of suffering, but it's okay. I think I'll let you know. I'll survive. I'm joking. I'm teasing because I'm out of oxygen and tired and sweaty, but it was worth it. Man, it's just a humble reminder of why any form of spiritual practice that you have is worth keeping, because through effort and prayer and meditation, you can get in touch with the inner faith that encourages you to keep going. I was reminded while I was out there that a bad moment doesn't mean that you have to have a bad day. And a lot of times the suffering that comes with a bad day is genuinely perspective. I'm not trying to subtract from anybody that really is having a bad day. I think I got here through a series of actually bad days where things that were desperately out of my control and there was no solution. Whereas days like today, it may feel like a setback, but having faith that there's a bigger plan and that small moments can still lead to miraculous breakthroughs is such a crucial part of the human spirit. You don't have to necessarily look sexy or beautiful or like you're fully in control of everything when you're doing it, and you can still make progress. In fact, I think one of the things that defines the human spirit is that we can choose to continue going through adversity where so many other animals will quit or die out from natural selection. We actually can continue to get up and go forward and not care so much about how things look or what that is. We have the creative ingenuity to actually develop new tools, new mindsets to overcome these things. And I think for me, at least, this space, this creative process, the books, the reading, the training, the meditation, it all reminds me that there have been so many times where I've been so hard on myself that I didn't think it was going to get better. But through setting habits and being committed to things, even when I don't feel like doing it, and on the days where I'm anxious, and on the days where I'm depressed, and on the days where I feel defeated, the effort that I put in to keep going forward is immensely more valuable and I think heavier weighted in the progress that we and I make instead of the moment that creates the negative response. And so I think the thing that I'm constantly reminding myself of, because there's so many opportunities to, and the thing that I'm trying to instill in you is that you have the same capacity to overcome adversity. You have the same capacity to shine. You have the same toolkits and creative ingenuity to tap into the human spirit and adapt and overcome. And nobody can take that away from you if you're determined to hold on to it. So I appreciate you joining me for another Tactical Diary. As always, stay blessed and you can't give up.